A 9-song, hard-hitting, straight-to-the-point pop album, or a 17-song epic that stretches over 70 minutes? That is the question that pop fans were posed last week when Robyn released her new album, Sexistential, and Raye released her new record, This Music May Contain Hope. Two very different albums, presented very differently. Obviously, Robyn's, her first album in 8 years, another 9-song record following on from Honey, which did the same thing, but kind of goes back to her Body Talk formula of delivering straight up emotion through really straight to the point pop songs. There is no, to use lack of a better word, excuse my French, fucking around going on here. This is just Robyn giving us pure melody in the most beautiful way. And then on the other side, we have Raye, who hasn't exercised restraint at all. Her album stretches over 70 minutes long. There are orchestrals. There is narrative. Hans Zimmer is involved. Al Green is involved. There is just so much packed into this record that it really is amazing to consider it alongside Robyn's album, which obviously does a totally different thing. I think that both records are great, and I'm excited to unpack them on the podcast today, but I'm going to do it in two very different ways for two very different albums. And the first way I'm going to do it is by introducing Troy, who you may know as HT Hayes. He does reactions on YouTube, but you can also catch him on all social media, basically. He just has so much passion and life for music, and I saw his reaction to the Raye record, and I was like, I have to get him on to the podcast to talk about it. So we're going to talk about This Music May Contain Hope first, and then producer Jono is going to join me to talk about the Robyn album, Sexistential. He also saw Robyn on release night play songs from the record, so he has that context as well. But I'm just super excited to talk about these two albums. There was a lot released on Friday. We also got an album from Slater. We got an album from Charlie Puth, Snail Mail, Kanye West, if you lean that way. There was just a lot going on, but these are the two that really stuck with me and the two that I really wanted to talk about more in depth. If you do want me to discuss any of the other albums, make sure you comment it below if you're listening on Spotify or YouTube. I would also love if you would subscribe and join us on the podcast every single week. And also, if you're liking what you're hearing, a 5-star review goes a long way in terms of the visibility of this podcast, and I would personally really appreciate it from you. That's all the spiel I've got for you. We're going to get into the first chat about Raye's This Music May Contain.
Call outs and the call out, calling all my baddest women, it's about to go down. Click, 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 clack, symphony, I need that. Click, 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 clack, symphony, I love the sound of it. You let the girls out.
I am super excited about this. I have Troy. Is it Troy you like going by?
Yeah,
HT Hayes,
yeah.
the internet will know you as.
Yeah, you're my friend, bro. We're friends. We're homies.
Thank you for allowing me the Troy intro. I saw your reaction to Raye's album, This Music May Contain Hope, and I just loved it. Like, obviously, you're very passionate about albums in general, but I was really like feeling it coming through the screen for this one. So I wanted to get you on and talk through the album. I guess, like, when you finished the album, how did you feel immediately? Like, emotionally, what was going on inside?
Oh my gosh. I mean, overwhelmed, honestly. I mean, it's just such a, like, collection of just like the most explosive music I feel like we've heard from her. I mean, I love 21st Century Blues just because it was like obviously my first introduction to Raye in general. So, you know, the feelings were very strong on that album. I loved to see that she mixed a little bit of like EDM, and the way she kind of like mixes her genres with her vocals is like very interesting. And I love that even though she went so hard into the orchestral sounds for this album, we still got a little bit of that genre blending with like Lifeboat and like all these kinds of like slower songs toward the ending. And I was just like, at the end of it, even the fact that she had like the entire essentially liner notes for the album, like as a spoken word part, I was like
crazy.
Like I listened to the entire thing. I was like, I can't just skip this part. Like these are the people who made the album. This is part of it. So my overall thoughts on the album afterwards was like just blown away. I feel like my hair was like blown back like this, you know?
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude. Like this is something I don't think I've ever heard an album like this before. Not really.
No. And one that's so, what struck me immediately is like, it feels like, particularly in the last like maybe 10 to 20 years in music, like pop stars have peeled away a little bit and gone to something that's a little bit more, in quotation marks, relatable, and maybe a little, they shy away from maximalism, particularly now, I think. And it just struck me how maximalist this album was. And there's not, I know that there wasn't a conversation where somebody was like, do you think we should pull this back a bit? Like strip a few instruments out? She was like, no.
Defeats the whole purpose of the album. It's like, no, we have to go full force into the orchestral, into the strings, into the horns, into the timpanis, like everything. And after the album, finished, I was thinking like what to even like compare the sounds to, and like I feel like Lux would probably be the closest. Yeah. Like sonic, obviously, lyrical departures are pretty vast in terms of both albums, but just like sonically, I was like, yeah, probably Lux. I know Fantano was talking about the Lily Allen record. I didn't listen to the Lily Allen, but he was saying like that was kind of along the same line as well. But I was just like, man, this is a this is a thing on its own. This is like a complete like masterpiece, I would say. Like truly,
it really is. I was trying the same as you. Lux was the one that was coming up for me. It's interesting that those two records have like come out within months of each other. After a period of like that kind of music being very like out of the mainstream. But then I started to think even further back, and like particularly about the power ballad. I mean, with something like I Will Overcome or I Know You're Hurting, I started to think about like artists like even Aretha Franklin or Celine Dion, or like these really like kind of real like balladeers that I feel like is almost vocalists. Bar maybe Adele has kind of disappeared somewhat in favor of like other genres. It's so interesting to hear an artist go fully back into that space.
Yeah, I love that she continued with the ballads. Like as much as like all those cool like hip hop influences kind of come into like other tracks like Winter Woman and stuff like that. It's just so cool to see that she like still knows like what's gonna hit the heart, of her audience and new listeners too, because those ballads are just so powerful. Like it speaks to like a very human part. I also think that just in terms of like British people, like I'm American, so I'm gonna take it for what you will. But like the UK ballad is like the blueprint for ballads in my opinion. So the fact that she's still like so strong in that lane is like, that's awesome. It's almost like her paying like an homage to like the sound of that classic ballad. I just enjoyed it.
It's something that I find so interesting, the thing that's happening in the UK right now. Like I think of artists like Olivia Dean as well. British, I'm Australian obviously, and British and Australian cultures have some overlap in terms of we're quite like self-deprecating. It's very hard for us to be very serious and earnest, but there's like a real earnestness about this Raye and the Olivia Dean record where it feels like they're directly speaking to you. Like, I Know You're Hurting, she could have like put metaphors in it and she could have really taken like the cringe factor down, but she doesn't. And that's something I really appreciate about the record too. It often just feels like she's speaking straight to you. It's like something that's quite impressive about Lifeboat as well, but something that I've found that some people are finding it quite off-putting listening to as well, like that their cringe radar is going off, where it didn't for me really.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting too, because I've heard that same criticism towards I Look Like Shit Today. Is that the title of the song? Or
Yes. Yeah. I think something. Yeah.
So,
you're on the
along the lines.
What you're talking about.
Yes.
I hate the way I look today.
I hate the way I look today. Sorry, you don't look like shit, right? You look incredible. But it was one of those things where it was like heavy exposition, right? Heavy spoken word, almost in like a jazz kind of like offshoot kind of way that I feel like a lot of people kind of like upon first listening are like, these lyrics, like that was kind of the first thing that I saw on Twitter when I opened my phone. Yeah. The worst part of my day every single day. But and it was just like, are we really gassing up these lyrics? And it was like, it's not giving there was some lyric in there that was like, it's giving train wreck, it's giving disaster, it's giving, you know, something, and it's like, and it's like, is that cringe or is that just how people talk now? I think that's kind of the way it is, and I think that that's a really interesting point that she made on the album, to have so many spoken word, to have even like song introductions, like, hey, this next song is about the worst heartbreak I've ever had, you know? And I think that that's so distinctly cool just as a musician, because I feel like it really puts the listener in a chair, like to visually see or to visually like kind of hear the performance of the song. Like, so many of the songs are like performance driven, that like, even if you're like somebody who may not love musical theater, you're probably not gonna love the album for what it's like, the power that it really brings, even though there's gonna be tracks in there that you probably do enjoy anyways. But to find that cringe, I feel like was really interesting, because again, I was just like you, like, didn't touch my cringe factor at all. It was just it's just her, like her being her most authentic self. So I don't know.
Right.
I'm kind of the king of cringe, so I don't know. Take my word for whatever.
I have been learning, because it's interesting you said the musical theater thing. I am someone who doesn't really enjoy musical theater, and I will try,
really?
but it just like registers not on my radar, and I find it really difficult to sit in it. But there was something about, and there were several points throughout this record. I was like, people are going to love this, and then there's going to be some people who are going to trash this, like, and read it for filth. And that's exactly what's happened. But I love that that's the reaction to an album. It means that like they're doing something memorable and meaningful. And interestingly, my cringe factor was not going off, because I was just so impressed and so like moved by how much she was in the music. Like, there's no like fakeness about this. It's clear that Raye is a very intense person. She's a very empathetic person, and she wears her heart on her sleeve. And I'm like, if you're that kind of person, there's no need to dial it back for the music, you know? And we heard her dial it back in the kind of dance music she was doing early on in her career, which was not 100% her. Now it just feels like it's so her. And I wanted to bring up too what you said about I hate the way I look today, because I do think that they were reading those lyrics so literally and making it come off that she was just like being a bit of a ditz. And it's similar criticism that Where's My Husband got. But Where's My Husband, like, that's a very British thing to just be sitting at drinks and be like, where's my bloody husband? You know, like, when's he going to turn up? And it's said with like total tongue-in-cheekness. And I'm like, it's interesting that that's being missed from this, is that Raye is like humorous, she's charismatic, she's so funny, and that's in it. I think people even kind What's Up Shakespeare, I'm like, take this dark ass song, and then she's just putting in these lines that she's like, I know this is cringe, and I know that's funny. That
is, I think, my favorite. Thank you for bringing up What's Up Shakespeare, because even upon going into that song, before I listened, I was like, what is this? Like,
me too.
What are we doing? You know? But then you get into it, and it's like, oh, for sure. Like she's doing the story, but the outro, man, the outro with the whole pivot. It's like, dude, like I love to laugh. You know, I love humor. That's part of the reason why I really like grabbed on to the lyricism that like Sabrina Carpenter kind of came out of the gate doing with these last few albums. It's like, I love the horny humor. Like, that's great. It's awesome. But also the fact that Raye has her own style of humor where it is a little bit drier. It is, I mean, it's British, you know, like she's a UK girly. So like it's going to be on par with that. And I think that's so cool that she's able to do it, because I've never been able to hear slapstick in musical form. And that is so much of what that outro is like, I was one of 7 other girls, and here they all are. And you're fucking doing the kicks with the other girls, and it's like, oh my God, it's so funny. And it just lets you in a little bit. It's just so interesting to me that it's not registering to some people as funny. Like, it's so funny, and it is so musical theater, and it's so like cabaret, and
Even calling this man the WhatsApp Shakespeare is like just reading him for filth in the same way that like Lana reads like that man or Norman fucking Rockwell for filth kind of thing. It's like you think that you're so intelligent and well read, but you're actually just like a piece of shit, which is great.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Is there a song for you that like really stuck with you after the first couple of listens? Like if you're going to pick the album apart, what one are you going back to?
Definitely Winter Woman.
Me too.
I mean, Winter Woman, Click Clack Symphony is just like, well, my wife Angela was a huge fan of Click Clack Symphony when it came out as a single, and she was like, have you heard the song yet? And I was like, no, it's a week till the album comes out. I'm just gonna save it, She was like, okay, don't watch my story. Don't like my post because I'm connecting the song to all of those posts. And I was like, okay. when Angela has a reaction like that to a song, I'm like, all right, I need to sit my ass down. I need to lock the fuck in. I need to understand this shit. So that one's definitely I'm coming back to. But yeah, Winter Woman, Click Clack Symphony, Lifeboat, really, really solid stuff. I love Joy. Joy is so good. Same. It is just like I think the stuff that I'm gonna come back to just as like single listens are probably going to be more on like the back half of the record when it kind of gets a little bit toned down. Because I'll be honest, the big string hits can be a bit much when you're, just
every
waking
day
up in the morning or something like that. And and there's a time and a place for it. And I'll definitely like be in there when that time is. But as like a day-to-day thing, I just think she hits so many fantastic strides. There's one other one that I'm forgetting, but it's just kind of all around this Nightingale Lane. Yeah, Nightingale Lane.
Oh, Nightingale Lane is fantastic.
Which I wasn't even like too Fields too is just so freaking good. Oh my god.
That one was the one that really got me.
Yeah, I mean, just in pieces, man.
Yeah.
just in
I don't
pieces.
know why of all the one, I think because she takes you on this whole journey. And then the Al Green and then her grandfather kind of like 1-2 punch just like sent me towards the end.
Yeah,
So
hearing
nice.
Al Green with that kind of like vocal delivery on there too, I was like, dude, she is like just in a lane of her own when it comes to this stuff. I mean, sure, you could say like, oh, Olivia Dean's coming back with this, but it's very distinctly something, that is Olivia Dean's vibe and Ray's whole kind of, conglomeration of like the sounds and the styles and the references. Like the Vivaldi was like, oh my god, dude, like who's doing this really? Like who? That's like where I kind of wrestle with it. Is this like the album is so technically solid within its parts, like even with the seasons, right? Like the spring, summer, winter, fall, like all of that is so technically perfect for what an album should kind of like check off with. But within each of those little segments, there are songs you'll come back to just alone. So the fact that there's like a happy balance between that, I think is like kind of generational, man. Like I just don't think we're going to hear an album like this, like in the terms of like track listing, delivery, rollout, emotion. It's going to be insanely hard to top this year, if toppable at all in this lane. I mean, there'll be albums that I personally gravitate to just because, I mean, Underscores, sorry, that's just my jam. But like,
mine too.
Yeah, it's like this is just such a piece of work. It's like it's almost undeniable in a way.
100%, and it feels like an event in a way that like is hard for an album to feel like these days when we move on so quickly. It's just the nature of streaming and everything, but you feel the gravity of this, like the weight of it, the heaviness. It's just like a real accomplishment, I think, regardless of how you feel about it. And I was interested to take a scalpel to it too, because the journey of this album is so important to your reaction to each of the songs. And Joy, for example, I don't know if I would have felt the same about it had it been at the top of the record, but given everything you go through, it feels like this moment of total euphoria at the end of it. But that song has stuck for me on its own. Like I popped it on the other day just out of context, and I was like, it works for me. It totally works. Dear Henry does as well. Fields does too. Winter Woman, I think, has the most potential to be like an escapism kind of level hit on here.
Yeah, I was feeling the similarities between that like energy that escapism had, where it was like bouncy, had a pump to it, and then also Winter Woman had this kind of like beat driven hip hop style with a lot of these like little vocal inflections that just keep the listener on their toes. Like her creativity on this album is like kind of ridiculous. Like she's doing these string lines that are like proper like symphony like London Symphony Orchestra string lines, and she's like right there. It's like
crazy.
What? How are you a human being right now? Crazy. It's insane, man.
What I want to know is like, where did she find the time to make this record? Because ever since My 21st Century Blues took off, she's been playing festival after festival after festival. Then she was on a headline tour. She was finishing this album while she was playing new songs from the album on stage. I'm just like, this is not something that you kind of slap together like jump in the studio with Max Martin every couple weeks just to like polish off a song. This is like, you have to be in it, like in the, that's going to read as Taylor Shade. It's not up there, but I'm just saying like to pull off an album.
Editor, cut that out. Editor, cut that out.
Okay, yeah, exactly. We need to stay afloat. But to be in the studio, you have to be in the studio with an orchestra like that, and you have to be watching it all unfold. Like it's no easy task. I've watched like what Rosalia did with Lux as well. It just feels like such an undertaking, and she took 4 years kind of to just like zone in on it. But this just came together while she was on the road. It's nuts.
Yeah, it has been 4 years. That was something I didn't touch on in my review, but yeah, it's been a while. I like that length of an album cycle. Like I just genuinely feel like when you have a voice like this, not just physical voice of what she sounds like, but like an actual like to be able to lyrically speak to your audience and really, really resonate, they're gonna wait, man. Like same goes with Harry, even though people were, obviously people have their issues with the Harry album too, but like, par for the course. I just really enjoyed the time that he took to find the sound to be able to get to where he wants. Same goes for Raye. It's like she felt like her best lane was to go through this entire symphony orchestra expression, and it works because her voice is right there with it. Like as many parts of like an orchestra as there are that many parts to her vocals as well. Like just hearing some of those like harmonies and backing vocals where she changes the timbre of her voice into like this kind of like scratchy, like it's like, hey dude, that's such a different identity and like a character in itself. That's like my favorite thing that artists and singers do. It can be like format shifted, pitched up like in Winter Woman, like at the end of Winter Woman, when she has that like a chipmunk kind of vocal come through, but like also with like the actual changing of your voice, like with different tones, how it kind of feels like these harmonies aren't just her doing layers and layers. It almost feels like the gals coming in to do the backing vocals for her. They were all at brunch and they're like, let's just go cut the track, and they all step in there and they all do their own thing, but it's her, and that's just so cool.
It feels so lived in. Like it feels like she just had these experiences, went straight to the studio and kind of cut it all out in real time, because it really does feel like you're in the story with her. I feel like sometimes artists can like overwork a song and it gets eventually detached from the initial emotion that was going into it. But each piece of this, you're like, oh my God, I'm right there with her. Like I'm right there. I mean, we wouldn't be invited, but you can feel her walking with her girls in Click Clack Symphony. Like it's just, it's all so vivid and just like so profoundly in front. It feels like a movie, really.
Yeah, like that was really my like takeaway from the entire thing, was that like it's so impressive to be able to create such a visual world with just audio, and she did it. Like it really felt like like Click Clack Symphony, I think really cemented it for me, just because a lot of the record in the beginning is like that big symphony orchestra kind of feel. But then you get the Click Clack Symphony and it's like organic shoes on the floor, clacking, being in tempo, like doing that kind of like real life shit. And then as the outro comes in, it's like just the most explosive, like interstellar level Hans Zimmer production. And it really just sucks you into this vortex of like, oh my God, this is what you need to feel like you're taking control of your life. Like, it's just so powerful. And like
It
the lived
really
in,
is.
like what you were saying is so true. Like as we get to the back half, because you're literally meeting her grandfather and her two sisters, literally. So like, that's just so like personal, and I just love a personal touch when it comes to an album. The fact that it's not being treated like a project, you know, like to clock into the studio and like work on every single day, and the fact that it's like such a purposeful, you know, distinction between the seasons for each of these sounds is like, man, she just really thought through all of it, every little bit of it. I love that.
Yeah, and just never lost herself in the process. Like, you're so right about the click clack thing and just bringing the humanness in, because I think that when you have a project that's this large, it's so easy for it to become bigger than yourself, and then I think that becomes very difficult to communicate these very like individual feelings that she brings in it. But then her grandfather pops up, and then the click clack, and then her spoken word parts and the humor that comes through, and you're like, every time it almost gets too big, she brings you back in, and she's like, no, we're sitting across the table from each other, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Ugh, so cool, man. It's just so impressive. Like,
it's so impressive. And I just love when music elicits this kind of reaction from people. Like, whether I'm talking to somebody who loves it like yourself, or somebody who does like have a very strong opposite reaction to it, that's better than indifference always, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I still love watching Fantano. Like, even though he didn't really love the album, it's like, I want to know.
I saw that coming.
Yeah, it's like, I want to know why. I want to know why. And I think that so much of it does boil down to just like, are you a fan of being swept away by something, you know? Like, or do you want to feel in control as you're listening to the music? Like, do you want to like form opinions as you're listening, versus do you just want to be like taken away out of this world to kind of be plopped into a universe where all of this kind of is just circling around? I think that's really the part of it, like the release, you know? Because
that's such a good point. And
I try to do that.
So heavy.
Yeah, I really try to do that when I sit down in the chair to like listen to any kind of album. It's like the shit in my life doesn't matter. Maybe not even to like my own preferences of like what I would personally listen to, but like to really give yourself to the message of the album. I think this is the kind of album that you really get the most out of it when you do that, by just sitting in and saying, go, start to finish, all the way through, listen all the way to the end of Finn, and that's the entire experience. I can't say that I would do it like every week, because it's just so much. But the fact that we got an experience like that, and then also we can come back as just fans of certain songs, that's to me what makes like a damn near perfect album. Like,
I feel the same thing. It's very difficult, like doing what we do, to not have the cogs in the head turning the whole time, being like, is this good? Is this bad? Is this good? Is this bad? And somebody asked me after I heard the album for the first time, numerous people were asking me, I like heard it at this listening party where there were a bunch of other journalists, and they were like, what did you think about it? And I was like, I didn't even think about that while I was listening to it, you know, like, my initial reaction is to say it was amazing, but I was like, I don't even know. I was just so swept up in the emotion of it all, the like actual pulling apart the bits and pieces and evaluating it in a critical way, that was swept away from me. And like, that is a great feeling to have listening to something.
Yeah, it really is. And of course, like, we're going to go back and like, you know, like you said, take our scalpel and kind of dissect what we want to dissect, and, you know, figure out, you know, why certain, you know, highs highs feel high and lows feel low and whatever the hell. But just to be able to like sit in that moment and truly like be swept away is like, that's impressive, man. Like the illusion of being able to be, or there's a term for it in film. It's called, shit. I should know this. This is what I have my degree in.
You're going to get
it's like, it's not separation, but it's like being like not seeing CG and be like, oh, that's fake, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like none of this felt like it was being phoned in, you know? Much like I feel like sometimes symphonies can kind of feel, or like gospel choirs feel like they're phoned in, you know? It's like, come in for the back half and then do your thing. It's like, no, it almost felt like they were like organs inside the body of like her expression. It's like, this is just part of what makes her Raye. What makes Raye Raye is this orchestral, polished, beautiful but explosive feeling.
And I just know if I sat down with her, I would get the exact feeling that I want to get from her talking about this project, because you can be so cynical about pop music and you can imagine a boardroom being like, people really want inspirational music right now, you know, like tough times, let's give them like something really to stick to the heart. But like, that's I just know there was none of those business conversations going on in this. This was just straight from her to the tape, expression. Unfiltered. And if you don't like that, like maybe you just don't kind of connect with Raye on an emotional, personal level, whatever, that's fine. But you cannot criticize her for any of this being like overblown or fabricated or fake. It's just not. It's just so uniquely her own.
Yeah. Like it's there's so little in the way of being like, oh, you know, she's not a great vocalist. Nah, well, you're just lying. Your ears are clogged if you think that. Like, I'm sorry, that's just not true. But like, and even lyricism, it's like, you could say, you know, artistically, like there's less of like a metaphorical side to these kinds of lyrics, right? It's way more exposition and like narratively focused. But also like, so is every fucking story ever. like they're like, aside from like actual musicals, that's kind of what you're gonna get, right? Yeah. So I mean, the fact that she's able to twist that into something that actually is so musical in nature, it also holds water. Like it just also does. So it's tough hearing criticism of it, but at the end of the day, if you're just not super into the kind of like explosive energy through like going from spoken word to like very like belty singing, I guess I could understand that. That's fine. But also, I don't know, fucking smoke some weed, bro. Like get into it. Like, I don't know. Chill. Take the cringe like meter away for a second. You know, who cares when something makes you like feel good or feel like, I mean, you don't even feel good at all the points in this album. Sometimes it feels fucking sad, but it's like cringe doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Just throw it away and let yourself like fall into it. I feel like that's like, the biggest. Like, dude, I feel like I look like crap most days, you know? Like, of course I'm going to relate to that song. Like, what do you mean that's cringe? That's my life. It's like, are you just gorgeous all the time?
Maybe some people just feel like every day is just like another great day for them as they walk down the street and get looks from everybody.
It's like, oh, why are you guys so sad? And like the world is fucking burning around you. It's like, what do you mean?
Must be nice. Must be nice.
really.
Just a beautiful album. Such a like a pivotal time like for it to be released in, and like this has been so fun to talk to you about it. I knew that you'd match the energy that I wanted for this album, because like it needs to elicit a strong response, you know.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I'm like, if I could do a backflip, I'd do a backflip, you know? Listening to this fucking music, bro. I'd be
Let's not go Benson Boone on this.
Oh, shit. That's right. Sorry. Copyright. Sorry, copyright.
I'm
Please
gonna
don't
get sued
copyright.
now.
Yeah, please.
I've shaded the Swifties and I'm going to be sued by Benson Boone. It's quite an episode for this small budget podcast.
Oh no.
Thank you so much. This has been such a pleasure. And if anyone feels the way we do, or if you don't feel the way we do, comment it where you can on YouTube or Spotify. Let us know.
That's the best part, man. Hearing about other people,
is the best
how
part.
they feel. Like, it literally is. I love different points of views. It's awesome.
I do too, and like we need to be better at everybody. Like it's
just be like normal about it. You know what I mean? Like
just be
like
normal about it.
Like just be kind of like it's okay to dislike things. Like that's a part of it.
Yeah,
like, that's
it's
a part
not
of taste,
a personal attack.
You know?
Yeah,
just be normal.
Yeah. We say as we agree with 100% each other's.
yeah, true. It's
Why
always
can't everything be like this?
Listen, it's always two dumb bitches just being like, yeah.
The world could be so simple if everyone was like us. What a note
Sam,
to end on.
you're awesome,
Thank you for joining me. This was so good.
Scared.
So next up, we have Jono back. Obviously, you know Jono from every other episode, but he has graciously decided to take just half an episode for this one to join me to talk about Robyn's Sexistential. We've just talked about Raye's This Music May Contain Hope. That was a lot to fit into a half an hour conversation. This, on the other hand, is an album that doesn't even last half an hour. So, hello, Jono. We can probably get through this in about 6 minutes.
You imagine I'm like, hello, and then we just play Robyn's album and that's it.
And that's it. I mean, I'm down to do that. That sounds good to me. You had like quite the week of Robyn. You went to see her show on the night before the album was released. And then the next night you were out at a club night and she turned up to sing a couple songs as well. So you must feel like you've been quite enriched by the Sexistential experience.
I am fully sexistential. I've got Robyn fever. I had a funeral on the Tuesday and then a Robyn Thursday, Friday. So I really am existential and then sexistential, you know?
That feels very much like the timeline from Raye to Robyn. That's the mood shift up we're talking about.
Exactly. An absolute classic.
What was the show like? Did she play lots of new music? Like, what was the vibe?
The show was crazy. So basically, I don't think I've ever been to a gig alone before. And I was quite nervous. So I went to the bar and got a red wine. And Rose Gray was behind me. And I was like, oh my God, where am I? I don't even know if I belong here, blah, blah, blah. You know, just like have a bit of a panic moment.
I didn't realize you were alone.
Yeah, I was such a freak. So I was such a freak. Anyway, and then I went in and Robyn came on and it was like a spiritual experience. I don't even want to be over dramatic because that's just how it was, like point blank.
Yeah.
I like ascended. I was like singing to all the songs. I'll send you the videos I took, and if any of them are fun, then you can add them in. It's probably me.
We'll
just
pop them in here.
Pop them in the pop pod. But she was crazy. Like the audience went mental for all of her old stuff. Obviously, I was actually just buzzing for the new stuff because I wanted to see how it performed live.
Yeah,
and it was really good. Like, apart from the audience not knowing the songs, because obviously we listened to them on Australian Spotify, so I knew them, but other people had never heard them, so you're not going to, like, sing along, really.
Did she, because when I saw her on New Year's, she played Sexistential, Talk to Me, Dopamine, and Blow My Mind. Did she play any of the other new ones the other night?
Yeah, she did, although don't ask me for the track list because I can't remember. But no, I know that she did.
Just yes is fine.
Yes is the answer. I actually think my favourite one live was Really Real, but I don't know if that's because that was earlier on in the night. That's why.
And then the red wine hit.
And then the red wine hit, and I was literally like, no, it was like great. The thing is, she basically was just like on a stage with a light around the edge of the stage. Yeah. And it felt like a full blown like performance. Like it just, you know, when it's like a minimal performance and it just felt like so much more. And that, I think, is a testament to her music and her artistry. Like, she could have been there without even the band behind her, and it would have been a 10 out of 10. Although I really wish you were there. I feel annoyed telling you this without you being there. I know you saw her on New Year's, so...
It's okay. I knew that. At least I've seen her this year, and I'll see her again at some point. But you're seeing her soon too with Harry Styles.
I'm going to her own tour, and I'm seeing her open for Harry Styles.
Oh, so you're just full year of Robyn.
Yeah.
She's given you 29 minutes of music, and you're going to spend like 5.5 hours with her this year.
It's full Robin Hood. I'm milking everything, all the coins. But yeah. And then you saw Cardi B when I saw Robyn. So
I saw Cardi B the same night that you saw Robyn. So very similar performances.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Cardi B is someone who released, a 24-song album versus Robyn's 9 songs.
Yeah.
What I've figured out from the 9-song thing is that is perfect for me, because I have listened to this album like 50 times since it came out on Friday. It just is so snackable that I feel like I'm just sitting like eating a whole like tub of ice cream by myself.
Yeah, I agree. That is a really good way of putting it. It's like having chicken tenders alone and you're like, I don't need the chips. The chicken tenders are perfect.
Right. And I'm just stuffing my mouth, and I don't even realize when I've hit the end of the packet.
Yeah.
I listened to it for the first time, and obviously like we're very familiar with the first 4 singles. But the minute that Really Real came in, I was just like, I was in public, so I wasn't doing this, but I just felt myself being like, oh, like the melodies are just so good that it feels like you're melting. Like I forget how much I love it when she just hits a pop song. And I love Honey. It's like one of my favorite records. But I don't think that it had the same kind of pop, like just smack in the face kind of vibe that Body Talk and this album has. And it feels really nice to hear her return to that. And that's not something I was necessarily expecting from this album. Like, how was your first listen?
No, I think Sexistential, the single, threw me off a bit as to like maybe it being more experimental. Whereas that's just the most experimental song, and then the rest of them are like just pure hits. Also, Sexistential has grown on me so much. It's actually, I think, spoiler,
It's
my
so
like, top
good.
3.
Did you wear something nice and push on Thursday night?
Well, you know, I went to the after party, again, alone. I went up to the bartender and said, hi, I'm alone. And she goes, and I was like, I feel a bit awkward being alone. She was like, good luck, next. She was like, I've got a job to do. And I was like, oh my God, love that
I was so
queen.
impressed you did that. Like, I'm very okay with going to a concert alone, but an after party I would struggle with.
Well, I wanted to see if Robyn turned up, and she did turn up, but after I left. But that's fine. We live and we learn.
That's fair enough.
Also, what I was going to do, go up to her and be like, hey. I didn't speak to anyone else except for the bartender.
Yeah, and then just
Unless
hang around her the entire night. Be like, I'm alone, so you're the only person I know here.
I would have been like, hey, do you know anyone here either? Because I don't. Is this really real?
To be fair, she did release a song called Talk to Me, so she was asking for it.
Some of my friends were like, you really were dancing on your own. I was like, no, I wasn't dancing. I was sitting in the corner. Just... Anyway, we digress. How has your 50th listen differed to your first, do you think?
Interestingly, like, it hasn't changed at all. I loved it on the first listen, and I still love it now. And I'm just finding it has so much replay value for me. The singles, I found, like, I loved them all individually, but I kind of found it a bit disjointed, and I wasn't sure where it was going to go. And when dopamine hits after Really Real, you're like, well, this just made the song 20 times better, because this just all makes sense. And the track listing is so good. That like 1-2 punch of Sucker for Love and It Don't Mean a Thing is just like, like those 2 songs, there's crack in them, because they are just so good. Like, It Don't Mean a Thing like has strong potential to be like one of my songs of the year. The way that she just weaves her vocals through that melody in the verse, I'm like, this is so fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Also, why
do
do I keep going to bed being like, fuck a app?
I keep saying fuck it app, and every time I say it, Bianca's like, huh? And I'm like, don't listen to me.
I can't stop. It's like, I'm gonna die in this house. It's just like
Yeah, it's
spinning around
100%
in my
that.
head.
Somehow waking up to that rather than die in this house is a little better. This morning
A
I
lot
woke up and
better.
in my head was just like, I was about to go have a kid on my own. Like,
I open the weather app and I'm just like, fuck it app. I feel the same. It's definitely just as good. I think maybe almost better, because I think what she does so successfully is like you get hooked in by this like melody or something really easily. You almost feel like you've heard it before. It's that good. But then when I was listening with headphones like the last 2 days, I was like, there's so much behind each track and each like second of the song. And I'm like, if you wanted to, you could write essays about the production and the lyrics, even like, I don't know, that
yeah.
it's like almost like the shallow surface bit which you need to get hooked in versus like the deep stuff. And
Right.
it's like she always has both. Like, you know, that it's so
100%,
boring to be like
yeah.
the crying on the dance floor stuff, but like that kind of thing where it's like you can sing along, but also there's a lot more meaning to it. It's the same with like this album. I'm honestly obsessed.
I'm obsessed as well. And what's like really struck me with this era is this like kind of duality between machine and human when it comes to Robyn. And like, I think it goes right back to Fembot, really. I mean, even earlier on, I think she was doing it a lot on her self-titled. But you know how in like Really Real, there's that like robotic sound under the vocals. And then in Sucker for Love, it sounds like there's like a race car accelerating. And it's like this weird, like kind of comment on like, I don't know how emotion can kind of like transcend anything. And you feel it with Really Real. You're like, is she android or human? And then she goes like, hi mom, and like does that whole like voice call thing. And you're just like, this really gives me like chills, because you're like not sure if it's real. It's like a very disorienting thing. And I've been trying to think about like why she does this so often. And I feel like sometimes with Robyn, it's like she's trying to make it sound like she's experiencing emotion for the first time to make it sound more profound. And it's almost like she's teaching a robot like how to feel. I feel this on Dopamine a lot, like where it's just like dopamine's like commented on as being such a like kind of throwaway thing, but she's feeling like the intense rush of it. I don't know. I'm like still trying to connect the dots, but I just really like how she uses something that feels emotionless to just like really up the ante and the emotion on the album. And I like the acceleration that you feel throughout it, like Sucker for Love with the like, and also the different languages she uses as well. Like it just feels like she's trying to make a point on how like basic human emotion will transcend everything. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think that's totally true. Also, you can, like, how easy it is to fall into tacky when you try and use, like, robotic or, like, tech sounds in music in general, let alone pop. Like, a lot of people do it and it sounds ridiculous and silly. I think, yeah.
The album is, like, kind of cringy in the best way, because it is so, I don't know, unfiltered in terms of just like expressing the emotion of it. Like even Into the Sun at the end, I was like, oh wow, this feels like kind of just like really straight down the line, almost ballad territory for her. And I was like, is this too like straight down the line for Robyn? And then as the days have gone on, I guess that's the song that's grown on me. I'm like, this is just so beautiful, like so well done. It's I don't know, like her full throttle, like fall back into full on pop music just reminds me how damn good she is at it. Like pop music is meant to be uncomplicated. It's meant to be unfiltered. And then the fact that she does that, plus she plays with the production of it, it's just such a cool sounding album.
Even Into the Sun, it's like, is that a play on like her son? Because she talks about other songs and how it's like, sounds like sex, but actually she's talking about her like platonic love with her son. Obviously.
Yeah.
platonic with us. But you know what I mean? I think
I think that's something on Blow My Mind that like comes across is that is a song for her son that's rewritten from an earlier song of hers that is actually just about like being really infatuated with someone, and that like connecting the dots between like, oh, those feelings can feel very similar, like being really infatuated with something and being like really in love with something you've given birth to can weirdly feel a similar way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I was going to say, I think what you were saying before about how she works with like the robotic, almost emotionless versus like, you know, the opposite. She's just so good at creating tension. Like, and that's what makes good music. Like, you're hooked. Like, it's a drama. You want to know what happens next, even within the next few beats of the song. Like, it's tense, and then you feel relaxed because it works, and then it's tense again. I don't know. It's just like,
yeah. No, I feel that the narrative of it is really fun to track. It's also so different to the feeling of Honey. Like Honey had this really like sensual kind of patient vibe to it, and it wasn't really forcing anything, whereas this one's just like a vomit of emotion, like straight up, which I love. And I saw this quote of hers where she was like, I got sick of being like the kind of poster child for heartache, and I think she was feeling that way around like Honey. And then she was like, and then I was dumped. And so this is like what we get with Sexistential. But being able to like showcase how that feels, and I feel like you get that at certain points that like she's really hurting in a certain way. I think Don't Mean a Thing does it really well in terms of her being like, this hurts so much that I'm going to pretend to myself that it literally doesn't matter to me at all. But then, you know, that's impossible for her to do, because on Sucker for Love, she paints it out pretty clearly that like, I will fall into things deep and I will feel very deeply. But she just like has this way of like working it through in her head that's just, I don't know, she really is so intelligent and such a genius.
Yeah. What do you think about, because I think it's a Sucker for Love and Blow My Mind that were apparently meant to be for previous albums. I don't know if it's a rumor or not. And then they've kind of been reworked into this one.
So Blow My Mind is an old song. It's almost like it's on her third album. Third or second album. You should go back and listen to it because it's really interesting. To, like,
I literally now can't even picture it.
Yeah,
like,
because when she played it, when I saw her in New Year's, I was like, oh, that's interesting. She's playing that song. Like, that's so old. And then I realized that she's rewritten it and reproduced it. And Sucker for Love, I believe, was written for the Royksop collab. Remember, like, Do It Again? And Monument?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is funny because I thought Really Real sounded like very much in that world.
Right.
Sucker for Love feels very fresh. But yeah, I kind of like that. I mean, I like it with what Charlie did with the Brat remix album, where it's like showing that art can kind of be like recycled in a way. She's a very sustainable pop queen, Robyn, in that way, bringing them back. I think she's done it a couple times. I feel like she's done it once before with a song that she brought back as well. But it's very it's interesting, I think.
She's existential, she's environmental queen, she's everything everywhere all at once.
What are your like top 3 favorites, I guess, now? I mean, that's like half the album, but
I know. What about Underscores, the interview you did where she was like, I think a 9-song album is the chicest number. And I was like, yeah, I actually agree. That is such a good way of putting it, because it's just like 3 acts of 3 songs.
It's such a tight number, but if you're not a good editor and you don't know exactly what hits, like it will be shit. But if you know like 9 songs that you've got like no skips, perfect. Like Robyn, no skips. Underscores, no skips. And then shit or chic, yeah. And then we were talking about the Fame Monster as well with Underscores, about how that's like 8 songs, but literally no skips. So it doesn't feel like you're being ripped off at all. I love a 9-song album if you can do it well. I do feel like I'm just wanting more from this album when I finish it, but I think that's a good feeling to have rather than being like, oh my God, when's it going to finish?
Yeah. And also, I don't feel ripped off in terms of the actual songs because, you know, sometimes like, and this is no shade, but like if it's like a 1 minute 50 song or something, I'm like, okay, I was just getting into it and now it's being ripped away.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like, I'd rather have 9 fully fleshed out songs that I feel like work really well individually
Yeah.
than like 12 to 15 much shorter songs.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't really have any complaints with what she's done. I mean, I would love to hear 5 more songs as good as the 9 songs on this, but if she doesn't have them, like, this is perfect.
Well, she's an
Okay, give me your
environmental
top
queen, so
3.
she'll re-release Blow My Mind 5 more
She
times.
will, yeah. She'll give us the record again in 8 years' time.
Okay, top 3 at the moment are Sexistential has shot up. When she played at the gay bar on the
Wow, it's in
Friday,
your top 3.
she played Sexistential and I was like, this is where it's meant to be played. It just like went off and everyone was going mental and I was like, it really worked. And she played Talk to Me into Sexistential and I actually think Sexistential went off. I feel like she was like performing it way more like, I don't know. It just like made me really love it, I think.
Yeah, I love that.
The other one's Really Real, which I think when I saw her on the Thursday, I was like, this is like one of my favorites. I thought that when I listened to the album as well. And then originally it was Sucker for Love, but I think when I listened to the album, Really Real into Dopamine, I'm just like, that's the 1-2 punch for me where I could listen to that 100 times. And I know that's actually quite basic because Dopamine and Sexistential were 2 of the singles, but I don't care. They're just, I don't know. And
No,
also
but
it will
I think
change
it's
tomorrow.
important. I think it's important because like the singles are really elevated by their place in the track list, which I'm always like really impressed when that happens. It's like Break My Soul on Renaissance. Remember when that came out as a single and everyone was like, whatever. And then when it was in the album, everyone was like, oh, I totally get it now.
Yeah,
like, I think that's cool
true.
when it happens.
Yeah.
I think because of that, Dopamine is also in my top 3 now.
Okay.
And then I would say it's so hard because it changes all the time. I really like Really Real. But I think right now it would be Dopamine, Sucker for Love, and It Don't Mean a Thing.
Yeah.
But I love Really Real. It's just got this really like weirdly creepy feeling to it that I think is just the best album opener.
It's so not even traditional. Like, it's not a traditional song, and it's so good.
No, but then she does it. I'm going to need to look up the lyrics because when it really gets into it, you think that it's not really going to have a chorus. And then the chorus hits and it's just like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby, tell me how you feel. And then the chorus just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. And then I slip out through the crack in between it. Is it really real? And then it goes back into that kind of creepy Royksop-esque beat.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, so good. So good. I mean, I'm happy Friday really delivered. Basically, everything I listened to was great. Robyn was great. Raye was great. Charlie Puth was great. Slater was great. So, like, don't laugh.
Not Charlie XCX Puth. What? I know you've just done the, like, in this episode, Raye and Robyn. Are either of those your front runner for album of the first quarter?
That's a good question that I haven't considered. Yes. I would say for me, Robyn slightly edges out Raye. But it's really hard because Robyn has such great replayability and the Raye album is quite an undertaking and like really jaw-dropping to listen to from start to finish, but it's really sucks your energy, I think. Whereas the Robyn one is just like bam, 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 bam. Like it's just such an instant dopamine hit. So I think Robyn for me is really up the top of the field for album of the year so far. What do you think? I mean, we haven't even really talked about the Raye album, so I'm interested, like, if you've got a sentence on that.
I love the Raye album. I do understand why it's
such a you
polarising.
album.
It's such a me album. It's such a me album. Literally, when you said that, I was like, oh yeah.
Like that when Joy came on.
When Joy... I'm so obvious. I feel like you could just tell me what my album rankings are because you know me so well. When Joy came on, I was literally like... obsessed. Also, Nightingale Lane or Avenue, whatever it's called. Like,
oh my God, it's so good. It just gets better and better. Why are not enough people talking about how that is just like almost song of the year? It's so good.
It's so good. What I would say that Robyn is like a clear winner though in terms of just a pure pop album. It's blown everything out of the water this year for me so far, I think. A pretty clear album of the year contender. It would be hard to beat, really.
This is Robyn you're talking about, yeah.
Robyn, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, it almost feels unfair to say because it just feels like the effort poured into the Raye album is so immense. But the editing and on this album is just so incredible.
The thing with Raye is I think she's going to get way more flowers than Robyn. So, like, she's going to win. Like, didn't Pitchfork give her, like, 9.9? Or was that April 1st? I can never tell what's
that
real
was
or
a
not.
joke.
Really real.
I think the Pitchfork review is still to come, and I don't think it's going to be kind.
Classic.
The Anthony Fantano one was a 3 this morning. So
a 3?
Yeah.
But people
I've been telling...
love it or hate it.
I was saying this, and people who've been listening since the start of this episode will just be hearing this again. But there's something about British and Australian humour where they can be quite intense in a real joking way. So Where's My Husband, like maybe to an American audience, is like quite a intense trad wifey statement. Whereas to us, like we could be sitting having like a drink and just be like, where's my fucking husband? Like when are they going to turn up? Like it's very jokey manner.
Well, it's
so I don't think that
yeah,
totally. And I think maybe the self-deprecation is missed at several points on that album by the people who are finding it too cringe. At the same time, I do understand it's a huge undertaking, and it's like it is a lot to grasp. But the Robyn album is not. So if you feel that way about the Raye album, the Robyn album is probably the one for you. And if not, the Charlie Puth album is right there as well.
I haven't listened to Puth, to be fair, so I should give it a go.
Do you have any final thoughts on the Robyn album? I guess we've kind of covered most of it, haven't we?
I think the only thing I would say is that the last two songs, what is it? Into the Sun and is it Lights Up?
And Light Up.
Light Up. They're the growers for me, and I feel like by the end of the year,
too.
I could have a very different top 3 based on that. But at the moment, the first 7 tracks, like, do blow my mind, and it hit me with dopamine, so that's it. What about you? Any concluding Robyn comments?
No, I feel exactly the same way. I just think it's I think people need to appreciate how consistent of a pop hit this is, because it is just like one after the other, after the other, after the other. And I don't think that's easy to do without like having a dip at some point. It's such a consistent album. Yeah. And that's what I appreciate about it. Like, I'm not even kidding when I say I've played this so many times. I asked Spotify what my most played songs of the year were so far, and Sucker for Love was number 1. So that's how much I've listened.
Sucker, barely know her. That's good.
Thank you for coming on and chatting about the Robyn album. We will be back next week with something. We'll chat. But it was such a fun week to be a pop fan. I love when you get so many albums and there's so many different ones. And it's been fun to put these two up against each other because they are such different albums. If you want more of the Pop Pod, make sure you follow or subscribe to us. You can also hit us on Instagram where you can see little clips if you can't be bothered to invest in the whole episode. I get it. And 5-star reviews go a long way. Other than that, thank you for joining me, Jono. And we can probably get another 2 listens into the Robyn album before the hour's out.
Literally. People listening like I should just listen to the album again, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway. Also,
This
if
has
people
been
listen-
exactly 29 minutes, this part of the episode. So we should have said at the start that you could just listen to the album in this time.
We'll put that in the Spotify link. Also, a comment on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever, because people have been sending me personal comments and I want to see it on like the Spotify so people can reply and stuff. So
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Comment
Don't hit
publicly.
Jono's DMs. Hit the Spotify
No.
comment section. He's overwhelmed. Overworked.
slide out of my DMs now.
This reply may contain indifference. Thanks, everyone. We will see you next week. Goodbye.